Are we ready to go then?
Ready to go. Just seeing what the cat's doing.
Hi guys, I'm Sean. This is Alyssa.
Gus is in our hearts, and this is in our rabbit hole daily.
And we're back reacting to something that some of you have been requesting for the longest time.
Wait. I need to get the keyboard.
All right. Well, that was a perfect intro, and now it's completely ruined. Yeah, so I can pause. There's a lot of people in the audience right now. It's like, please, no keyboard, no pausing. Last thing they want to do is make pausing easier for you. I guess
Do you want to plug her in for me?
All right.
All the pausing control at my fingertip.
All right, so use it wisely. This is going to be a good one. So as I mentioned, we've had a lot of people asking us to do this for a long time. In fact, it seemed like a couple of months ago, basically every reaction channel was doing a reaction to this, and we just weren't able to get to it till now. But I want to give a huge shout out to Yash Raghav for asking us
Raghav, I think.
Raghav?
Because we learned the other day talking to a friend that there's no
A.
sounds.
Raghav.
Raghav.
Yeah.
I think.
So then maybe it's Yash Raghav, because then it wouldn't be
There
Yash.
is no Yash. Have we been saying it wrong?
Maybe
or is
we
there
have.
Yash?
I don't know.
I thought it's like Rocking Star Yash, isn't that?
Yeah, that's how I've always been saying it. Well, friend, you're going to have to get in touch with us if we're getting your name wrong. But thank you for reminding us about this every single day and in the nicest possible way. Sometimes people want us to react to stuff. They aren't so nice about it. But this particular individual was very nice.
Waiting very patiently.
That's right. They've been nothing but kind and enjoying our other reactions in the meantime. And let's get into this. I've been looking forward to seeing this. We have checked out another couple of the Cogito videos before, and we've liked them a whole lot.
Yeah.
We saw one on Sikhism that in particular I liked. And now we're about to check out this one.
They don't always get everything right though, apparently, but you guys let us know in the comments.
Yeah, it's always good to know, sort of what things they get wrong, if they get the pronunciations wrong. But here we go.
This video is sponsored by CuriosityStream. Get access to Nebula, a video streaming service made by your favorite educational creators when you sign up for CuriosityStream using the link in the description.
Did we get that for you?
This is South India, home to the biodiversity hotspots, the Western and Eastern Ghats, the Bengal tiger, the Nilgiri tar, the Indian elephant, and whatever this creature is. Here is also the cradle of Tamil culture. Today, there are about 80 million Tamils in the world. That's more than there are French, Colombians, or Kenyans. Most Tamils live in North and East Sri Lanka or in the southern Indian state of Tamil Nadu, literally Tamil country. Tamil Nadu is now a state in modern India, but for thousands of years, Tamilakam, or the homeland of the Tamils, was much larger and ruled by independent kingdoms.
Jeez.
Tamil culture is the last surviving classical civilization because they've managed to keep their beliefs, culture and language intact for over 2,000 years. But who are the Tamils? What is their story? And what does it have to do with $700 billion golden coconuts? Well, let's find out.
I guess we're gonna find out.
Yeah.
I'm very intrigued. It's like these huge parts of world history. I had no idea.
The Tamils, maybe more than any other people, are in love with their language. Tamil writing has been dated as far back as the 6th century BCE, from the archaeological site Kairadi in India, and from the 2nd century BCE at Punakari in Sri Lanka, making it one of the oldest datable languages still in use.
Really? Wow.
Tamils often call their language Tamartai, which means the Tamil mother. It's more important to the Tamil identity than land, race, or religion.
Very interesting.
If you want to have the most intense conversation of your entire life, just go ask a Tamil person anything about the Tamil language.
Now, I'm going to pause this for a second, not because I need to, but because the cat is running around like crazy.
No, he's playing with his rabbit ear.
Okay, as long as he's playing with his rabbit ear and not all this expensive equipment.
He's not chewing the cords.
All right.
He's got it in his little mouth.
Okay.
He's just playing around all the cords. I'm just worried he's going to knock a light over.
I'm afraid he's going to knock over the camera. Should we put him in his bedroom? Put him in timeout?
No, he's okay.
All right, okay.
There, he's over there.
I hope he goes fine.
There he goes.
There he goes.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, I should have put his little toy down so he could play
But then he'd make noise. We're trying to react here.
They can't hear it in these.
Well, I can, and I'm trying to pay
Tamils
attention.
also take pride in the independent origin of their language. See, you can roughly divide India linguistically in half. North Indians generally speak languages descended from Sanskrit, an Indo-European language. This language family stretches from North India all the way over to Iceland. South Indian languages like Tamil belong to a completely unrelated language family called Dravidians. Unlike
We got Telugu and
Latin is no longer spoken,
Kannada.
modern Tamil survives as a living language for millions of speakers. Dravidians do
Hindi
not
never,
like it when
Tamil
North India
forever.
tries to push its culture or language on the south. The earliest clear evidence of Tamil people are urn burials dating from around 1000 BCE at Adich and Alor. Amazingly, they found evidence there of the worship of a god with a trident and a peacock, very like the
Urn burial. Does
Yeah.
that? But doesn't an urn you put ashes in it?
Yeah, so I
So it's
suppose
an
they maybe
urns
put
with
the ashes in the they put the
Okay.
ashes in the urn and then bury them.
Interesting. Oh, and they bury the whole thing too.
Sounds like it.
Hindu Tamils' favorite god today, Murugan. But the Tamils really leap into world history when the Maurya Emperor Ashoka mentions
So many
the
people want us to
unconquerable
check out
southern
Ashoka.
Tamil kingdoms in his rock inscriptions made between 273 and 232 BCE, which is impressive when you consider the fact that the Maurya Empire essentially conquered everything else. This is right around the beginning of a Tamil golden age known as the Sangam period, lasting from the 3rd century BCE to the 3rd century CE. At this time,
He
Tamilakam
said turd because he's like Irish or something. He's like
Yeah.
3rd century BC
All
to the
right,
3rd
let's-
century.
You know, we're talking about honoring languages
ruled
here, not
the
making
three
fun of
Tamil
them.
dynasties: the Solas, the Seras, and the Panjas. Unfortunately, there were no actual pandas in the Panja kingdom. I know. The Tamil kings were immeasurably rich and used their wealth to sponsor century-long poetry slams called Sangams at the Panja capital, Madurai,
Whoa.
where male and female poets would show off their works. These poets created thousands of poems, books, and epic stories called Sangam literature. Sangam literature is unique in how it doesn't seem to belong to any single class or religion. It was written by and concerns Hindus, Jains, men, women, farmers, kings, pandas, non-pandas, and everyone in between. One great Sangam poet, Poon Kun Krenar, emphasized the equality of all humans, saying, "I am a citizen of the world, and everyone in the world is related to me." This was quoted by one of India's most beloved presidents, the Tamil Muslim aerospace scientist Abdul Kalam, at the European Parliament in 2007. The Sangam literature tells us about a rich, cosmopolitan, and multi-ethnic Tamil-speaking society 2,000 years ago, where
Wow.
Hinduism, Jainism, and Buddhism all coexisted peacefully, where kings would even invite priests to public debates on their beliefs.
Sounds like a great place
Yeah.
to be,
described
honestly.
Sounds very
Madurai as so rich that it had a moat with secret underground passages large enough for elephants. Greek mercenaries guarded its gates, and the scent of perfume could be smelled miles away from the city,
Wow.
where there were folks of every race buying and selling in the bazaars or singing to the music of wandering bands. So how were the Tamils so rich?
Okay, now he's chewing the wire.
All right, so we're going to take a second here. We're going to put the cat somewhere. Wait, why don't we just show the cat for context here? They may or may not have seen this little terror before.
New kitty.
Yeah.
Don't bite me.
This is Fiero, also known as Fifi, also known as a little bit of a pain in the ass. So we're going to go put him away here. I'm going to grab him.
They were spicy. The ancient world was a bland, flavorless, unseasoned mess. It tasted a lot like English food. This was until the Tamils taught everyone the way of the spice. A 1st century CE Greek manual for sailors, the Periplus of the Erythraean Sea, says that the Tamils exported pepper and other spices, along with diamonds, woven textiles, pearls.
We just
ivory,
take all this stuff for
malabatrum,
granted,
and
you know?
other luxury items. What's malabatrum? Who cares? It sounds luxurious though.
I want to
Another
know
major
now.
export was cotton and silk clothing woven by women. Indian
Yeah,
women
it would have been like
dominated
such nice quality.
Mm-hmm.
Like just not some factory made.
Yeah, not something you'd
Crap.
find at Walmart. We'll put it that way.
Yeah.
I do think about that when I'm putting spices on things,
Mm-hmm.
how valuable that would have been, you know, a few hundred or thousand years ago when, you know, in order to get spices, you needed to bring it from halfway around the world on a ship. So
Yeah.
we're very lucky.
global trade for the next 2,000 years. Tamils traded so much that Pliny the Elder said India takes 100 million sesterces from our empire per year at a conservative estimate. That's about 10 tons of gold. China had the Silk Road, the Tamils had the Flavor Highway? No, the Spice Boulevard.
Is that actually what it's called?
They made themselves the center of a global trade network
That's
that linked
crazy.
Europe, the Middle
Really?
East, Africa, India, Southeast Asia, and China.
Wow.
We've discovered massive hordes of Chinese, Iranian, and Roman coins along the ancient Tamil coast. Tamil
Jeez.
inscriptions have been found as far apart as Egypt and Thailand. A statue of the Hindu goddess Lakshmi got buried at Pompeii, and Tamil ambassadors met with Augustus Caesar in 20 CE.
Oh, really?
This trade made Tamil cooking the first international cuisine in the world. The word orange comes from the Tamil naram. Ginger comes from Tamil inchiver, and rice in loads of European languages comes from the Tamil arisi.
Wow.
Without the Tamils, Ireland's greatest contribution to world cuisine, the spice bag, would not exist.
The spice
Honestly,
bag.
I
What
don't
is
want
that?
to live in that
This
kind
is a
of world.
fast food dish.
One Roman cook
In Asian
Okay.
culture.
over 300 recipes using Indian spices, from ostrich curry to tasty
Ostrich
peppered
curry?
brain sausage, or everyone's favorite, another laxative.
What?
Link to
Ah.
the cookbook is in the description.
Oh, that looks like fun.
Laxative.
What is this?
Tamils got
Ancient
so
cookbook.
rich
Ancient
off of their trade
laxative?
routes that just
Yes.
one temple, the Padmanabhaswamy temple, whose vaults were recently opened, has a treasure worth over $700 billion.
What?
This was accumulated over thousands of years from the donations from Tamil dynasties like the
What?
Seras, the Panjas, the Pallavas.
Wait, sorry, where is this now?
700 billion? I guess this is somewhere within the region. I didn't quite catch where.
So they just opened this vault and then it had $700 billion?
I
Are they
didn't fully
using it?
understand that. Maybe it was sort of off limit to public for a while, and then now maybe it's been reopened. I'm not so sure. But 700 billion, that's a lot of money.
Yeah. But it's like ancient. What is it? Just gold or something?
I don't
like it's
know. Yeah, like,
obviously
what
not
is the
dollar.
value?
It's obviously not the money we use today.
I'm gonna guess not. I'm thinking it's probably
Obviously.
gold or other
Yeah.
valuable metals and such.
Tamils got so rich off of their trade routes that just one temple,
One temple.
the Padmanabhaswamy temple, whose vaults were recently opened,
Okay,
has
yeah,
a treasure
vaults
worth
recently.
over $700
How come they
billion.
didn't open them before?
This was accumulated
That's
over
insane.
thousands of years from the donations from Tamil dynasties like the Seras, the Panjas, the Pallavas, and the Solas. Some of the things in the temple include this golden Mahavishnu
Wow.
statue,
Oh, okay.
thousands of gold coins, a solid gold throne, golden elephants, a 5-meter-long diamond necklace,
What?
and my personal
5
favorite,
meters?
a 30-kilogram solid gold coconut. At what point does that stop being a coconut and start being a bowling ball?
Where is it?
There are still
Where's the
unopened
coconut?
They didn't show us the
So we're
coconut.
still unsure of how much it's worth.
Wow.
Tamil merchants, monks, and craftspeople worked across Southeast Asia and lived in small communities there. Tamil merchants didn't just trade pepper with Southeast Asia, they traded the spiciest thing of all: ideas.
Ah.
From the 4th century CE on, kingdoms from Thailand to Vietnam to Indonesia were ruled by Hindu kings and wrote using Tamil writing. Modern Khmer, Javanese, and Thai scripts all descend from the Tamil Pallava script. The greatest monument to this cultural exchange is the originally Hindu temple of Angkor Wat
Now
in Cambodia.
I've heard
the
of this for
largest
sure.
religious structure on earth. By the end of the 13th century, we even find the Tamil Hindu temple dedicated to Shiva all the way over in the Chinese port of Qinzhou, where a small Tamil community lived.
Oh.
Wow.
The wealth and fame of the Tamil lands invited more than just merchants. A small Jewish community could be found in Kochi from the 6th century BCE. More even came as refugees after the destruction of the Second Temple in 70 CE. And according to local tradition, the Jews were followed by St. Thomas, the apostle of Jesus, who landed in India in 52 CE and started
Someone
He
was
landed
telling me
in
about
India?
that.
from Thomas in
Oh, and then was converting people in India
Yeah,
to
that Thomas the
Christianity?
Apostle
Apostle?
had reached India. Wow.
Interesting.
India's current Syrian Christian community claims descent. In 629 CE, a mosque was built by Muslim merchants in Muziris, and you can still go visit it today, or a part of it at least, because the Portuguese blew it up in 1504, but it's still
What?
cool. You can still see some of it. Okay, so we're going to do a little time jump here. Let's see. Invaded by Buddhist warrior tribes, Jainism and Buddhism take over for a bit, rise of the Pallava dynasty, Hindu revival. Here it is. After the Sangam period, the next great Tamil golden age happened under the Sola dynasty, between the 9th and 13th
Sola's how you
centuries.
pronounce
Their
it.
greatest king, Raja Sola, rose to the throne in 985 CE. He and his son quickly turned his modest
Whoa.
kingdom into an empire
No
that
kidding.
conquered most of South India, Sri Lanka.
That's a
and the
significant
Mongols.
land grab.
The Sola used their massive navy, the largest in Asia at the time, to control the trade routes between Southeast Asia and China. When the Srivijaya Empire threatened to block Sola access to the Straits of Malacca, the Solas launched massive naval attacks across Indonesia and Malaysia and even kidnapped the Srivijaya king. And no one ever messed with their trade routes ever again.
Whoa.
Along with an army containing 60,000 war elephants, the
War
Sola king's
elephants.
personal guard included the Padimuglir, or
I mean, we live in a town of like, what, 85,000 or something? So the idea that they had 60,000 elephants just blows my mind. I can't imagine.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness.
women bodyguards trained in Tamil martial arts and weapons.
Oh,
There are
wow.
also mentions of women working as advisors and ambassadors.
Look at her
and
go.
using their
Yeah.
own money to make large donations to temples.
Whoa.
Raja Sola poured his enormous wealth into building massive temples in a style called Dravidian architecture. The most
Whoa.
well-known
Whoa,
of these
so
being
colorful.
the
So
Raja
cool.
Jeswara temple in Tanjavur. This 66-meter tall soaring monument to Raja was one of the tallest buildings
Danny
in the world at
DeVito's.
the time. Other than Raja Temple, other Sola
They're so ornate and detailed. There's something to look at every inch.
like the Iyarateswara Temple, the Kankikonta Solapuram Temple, and the Champakaresuvara Temple. Sola temples also acted as banks. These temples received massive donations from the royals, and then they offered loans from those donations to farmers, villages, and merchants. Sola temples became this weird vehicle for redistributing wealth and reinvesting it in arts and local communities, making everyone richer. It's no wonder why when Marco Polo came here in 1273, he called the Sola lands the richest province on earth.
Whoa.
Wow.
Sola power
Like, how do we not
declined
know
in the
this
12th
stuff?
and 13th centuries. Buddhism and Islam replaced Hinduism in Southeast Asia, and Tamil lands in Kerala drifted away and developed their own language and culture, which resulted in the modern Malayalam language. Okay, so we're going to need to do another time jump. You have Muslim invasions from the north, rise of the Vijayanakarap, who built the world's second largest city, arrival of the Portuguese, destruction of the Vijayanakarap.
Oh my
by
goodness,
Muslim
there's a lot
armies,
that
So
goes on
much.
here.
fracture into small states, and here it is. No, it can't be. Not you. Not you again. Tally ho, 'tis a
Oh,
smashing civilization
no.
you got there. 'Twould be a shame if someone were
It's
to
the British.
plunder it.
It's not
Tamilakam
funny.
was
It's
split into
mean.
small, competing states in the 17th century, which made it easier for the newly arriving European powers to invade.
Wow.
Wait,
By the end
what
of
made
the
it easier
18th
for them to
Just the
invade?
fact that they had smaller states, I think.
Oh.
Century, most of South India was under British rule. The Tamils resisted the British invasion. One example is that of the Queen of Shivaganga, Velu Nachiyar.
Wow.
To protect her kingdom from invasion, she built an army to resist the British
Queen.
imperialists. This army
Wow.
included a regiment of women soldiers.
Whoa.
One of them, Kulili, volunteered to destroy a vital British ammunition depot that
My
was
gosh,
located inside
so
the temple.
badass.
Kalili and her fellow warriors easily entered the temple as worshippers because the British thought women were harmless.
Yeah.
Unable to
Interesting.
sneak weapons in, they poured oil over Kalili, who then set herself on fire
What?
and leapt
She's-
into the ammunition depot.
Had like a
blowing it up
suicide
and
mission?
securing victory for her queen in the following battles.
Oh my
becoming the
gosh.
first woman
Yeah, she was martyred
in India's
for her
long
country.
battle for freedom. Despite acts like this, by 1858, the British Crown had seized control of all of India. Famine quickly swept South India between 1876 and 1878.
Oh my
killing
God.
8 million
Just
people.
Oh, that's so
awful.
With
absolutely
the area
horrible.
devastated by famine, the British could dismantle the over 2,000-year-old Tamil textile industry. As British textile manufacturers couldn't compete with Tamil textiles, so they destroyed all the Indian looms. Then they pushed Tamils out of work as class
Horrible.
people and onto tea, sugar, coffee, and opium plantations.
Good
in
Lord.
India, or
What a
sent them off
destruction.
across their empire as indentured servants.
It's a destruction of
Opium?
culture, you know? It just,
Is that for heroin? The opium?
Yeah, I believe so. It's some sort of feel-good drug. And by the way, I was laughing there at the hilarious British man bumbling about, not the fact, that, of course, that British took over India.
I know that, but I
'Cause
know
they
but
do
it's
try and
like
inject some humor into this.
I know. It was like the little cartoony thing.
Yeah, and he was like
he's had
sipping his tea and
stupid
being an
tea.
idiot.
I
But
know,
yeah, it is an
just-
awful thing. And it's like, why would you destroy their looms? Why wouldn't you want to leverage these skilled workers
Yeah.
to make even better fabrics and textiles?
Like they just destroyed it all because they couldn't compete with it.
That's the sense I'm getting. I'd have to learn more though, because that just doesn't sound right.
John Sullivan, a colonial official in southern India, said, under their own dynasties, all the revenue that was collected in the country was spent in the country. Our system acts very much like a sponge, drawing up all the good things from the banks of the Ganges and squeezing them out on the banks of the Thames. India would eventually win its independence from Britain in 1947. In the first 2 decades of Indian independence, language became a battlefield in India. In
You know, it can be
1950,
controversial.
Hindi, the most spoken language in India, was selected as the sole official language.
I thought
of the
they didn't
country,
have an
with
official language.
1965 picked as the year the changeover from English would happen. Speakers of the Dravidian languages in the south didn't like Hindi because it was Sanskrit based, which they considered more alien than English.
Really?
As 1965 approached, thousands of Tamil student protesters shouted,
Whoa.
Hindi never, English ever, in the streets of Chennai. 4 students set themselves on fire as a symbol of non-violent
What?
protest. Dravidian
What?
political
It shows how
parties made it
deeply
clear
rooted
that
their
Hindi
language is
became
to their
the official
culture.
language of India.
They set
How much it
themselves
means
on
to them.
fire?
Yeah, if you're going to kill yourself and kill
They
yourself
kill
in the
themselves?
most excruciating, painful way, you've got to feel very strongly about something.
India, then Tamil Nadu would secede from India. The protesters won. The Official Languages Act Amendment of 1967 ensured the continued use of English alongside Hindi as the official language.
Oh,
in
but
India
not
up
even
until
like
today.
Tamil?
Even now in
Tamil?
India, Tamil Nadu is famous for its independent streak, love of its culture and language, and for acting as the champion of Dravidian politics against the North. But Tamils don't only live in Tamil Nadu.
Yeah, they were saying
Just a few
before they're all
kilometers
over
away
the
from
place.
there is the island nation known today as
Sri Lanka.
where Tamils make up 15% of the population.
Wow.
Sri Lanka is home to several ethnic groups. The mostly Buddhist Sinhalese are the majority, and the mostly Hindu Tamils are the second largest group. Both groups have been on the island for over 2,000 years. This island was known as Ceylon when it suffered 3 centuries of colonialism under Portugal, the Netherlands, and then the British Empire took over. In
So much to
1796.
learn.
When the British arrived, they were like, how can I make everything work? Oh, let's introduce
Here we go again.
ethnic conflict.
Oh,
In
no.
the 19th and early 20th centuries, to spur hatred, the British chose Tamils for higher
Why would they
positions
do
than
that?
the Sinhalese in the government. Then, in the Sri Lankan highlands,
Divide and
Sinhalese
conquer.
lands were seized by the British, and enslaved Tamils from India were settled there as plantation workers. These are Indian Tamils, distinct from the Sri Lankan Tamils who have lived in Sri Lanka for much, much longer. Sri Lankan Tamils live in the north and east. Indian Tamils live in the central highlands, and the Sinhalese live essentially everywhere else. When the British got kicked out of Ceylon, now Sri Lanka, in 1948, the majority Sinhalese took control of the island. Sinhalese nationalism exploded, and soon anti-Tamil massacres swept the island.
Oh
in
gosh.
1956, 1958, and 1977, which led to the formation of a guerrilla fighting group known as the Liberation Tigers of Tamil Eelam, better known as the Tamil Tigers.
I've heard of
On
the Tamil
31st
Tigers.
of May 1981, the Sri Lankan police burned the Jaffna Public Library to the ground, home to 97,000 books and containing irreplaceable artifacts and history.
The police did that of the Sinhalese? The Sinhalese
That seems
police?
to be what they're saying here. That's like
That's absolutely devastating.
it's like the destruction of
Irreplaceable
the
artifacts of
Library of
history.
Alexandria. And this is like their
97,000
version.
books.
Wow. Just what a
Seeing
loss.
the fire, one
Tremendous
refugee
loss.
said, it was as if my entire biography,
Oh,
history, and the
makes me
history
sick
of
to my
That's
stomach.
horrible.
had been destroyed, wiped from the face of the earth as if we did not exist. On July 23rd, 1983, the Tamil Tigers
That really
ambushed and
upsets me.
killed 15 Sri Lankan soldiers,
Whoa.
causing another anti-Tamil massacre to sweep the country in an event known as Black
Oh
July.
no.
The Sri Lankan Civil War had begun.
Oh dear. It's like, can't they just like respect their history and culture and not burn their books, and then we don't have to like, get to this?
It's just sort of the one of the worst things you could do to a culture, to a people, especially a culture and people that are so deeply rooted and tied to their language, and you lose all this wisdom. That's the thing, you lose generations upon generations of wisdom.
And by that time, they'd already been through so much.
And it happened in the West a long time ago with the destruction of the Library of Alexandria. And you just wonder what books were there. What sort of information did we have to relearn or
What's the Library of
rediscover?
Alexandria?
It was sort of the collection of all the Western knowledge and other knowledges too in the world, and it was destroyed. And along with it, many things that have never been recovered.
I'm sure here in Canada they probably destroyed a lot of like Aboriginal.
Yeah.
They just destroyed the people, the cult. They tried to wipe them of their own culture, like the people themselves.
Yeah.
Not just like artifacts. Like
God.
they put them in these schools.
And we don't fully understand because these days we can
so many people
digitize
died.
things, right?
Yeah.
So we can sort of save a copy of it, but they didn't have copies. And like what you're talking about, they didn't have copies. Sometimes it was the only one.
The Tamil Tigers were fighting for an independent Tamil nation in the Tamil parts of the island. As the war dragged on over decades, the Tamils became infamous for inventing the explosive suicide vest and for carrying out a suicide bombing campaign across Sri Lanka. The Sri Lankan army retaliated.
Well, he changed the word in
in the
text.
I don't know if that was
Is
maybe
that
to
for
skirt
YouTube?
Maybe. I don't know.
He's saying it though, so I don't think it matters if you say it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Whoa.
Retaliated with brutal attacks against the Tamil Tigers, which mostly resulted in the deaths and displacement of tens of thousands of innocent Tamil civilians. The Sri Lankan state is still undergoing investigations for committing a genocide against the Tamils.
Still.
This bloody war dragged on for 26 years, until the 18th of May 2009, when the leader of the Tamil Tigers, V. Pirapakaran, was killed and the Tigers surrendered. The war took the lives of over 100,000 people, with 40,000 Tamil civilians being killed in the final few months of the war. These are rough estimates because a proper investigation hasn't been done. The war caused a mass exodus of Sri Lankan Tamil refugees to India, Australia, Europe and North America. Today, around 8 million Tamils live outside of India and Sri Lanka. From the 19th century onwards, they went as indentured labourers across the British Empire, especially to Malaysia, Singapore, South Africa, Fiji, Mauritius, and the Caribbean, where many have kept their Tamil identities. Tamil is actually an official language in Singapore and Malaysia.
Oh, that's good.
Wow.
Well, I think now it's time to take a look at Tamil culture. Religion. Today, about 88% of the Tamil population of Tamil Nadu are Hindus, 6% are Christians, 5.8% are Muslims, and Jains, Buddhists, and Sikhs make up the rest.
Wow.
The most important Tamil festival is Thai Pongal, a harvest festival dedicated to the Hindu sun god Surya that usually occurs on the 14th of January. This festival is celebrated by all Tamils regardless of religion though. Pongal means to boil or overflow and refers to the traditional dish of new harvest rice boiled in milk with raw sugar. Pongal celebrations include decorating cows, ritual bathing,
Decorating
parades,
cows.
prayers, dances, creating art, and getting together with friends and family and exchanging gifts. During Pongal in Tamil Nadu, you might also see a Jallikutta. In this over 2,000-year-old sport, an Indian bull is released into a crowd of people, and men attempt to grab the hump on the bull's back with both arms and hang onto it for as long as
that
possible,
bull's probably,
attempting
like,
to bring the bull
terrified.
to a full stop, thus taming the bull. If they do so, they get a prize. If no one tames the bull, the owner of the bull gets a prize.
Oh, look at him. He's all
There
dressed
have
up
been many attempts
afterwards.
to ban this sport in recent years, which has caused massive popular backlash. Another interesting Tamil holiday is a May festival for the god Aravan, who is worshipped
It
by
said it got backlash.
Yeah,
From who?
maybe because people thought they weren't being so nice to the bull. But if you look
Well, I
at
feel
what
bad
they
for the
do,
bull.
what they do in other cultures, they actually kill the bull and actually throw spears at it.
Okay, that's
so I think
No,
that
I just
bull,
want the bull to be a bull, though. I don't want him to have to, like, everyone's like jumping on him.
yeah,
and-
it must be terrifying for him
Yeah. Okay, let's go back.
to ban the sport.
Ban the sport.
Yeah.
Massive
I
back-
suspect there are probably
yeah.
concerns around animal welfare, even here in Canada.
But there's bull. They're still doing bull riding. Like,
Yeah.
so
Well, I was going to say,
popular.
even in Canada, we have the Calgary Stampede, and people haven't been too happy about that lately. And
'Cause of
there's
the
been
bull
sort of
riding?
and other
Yeah.
things, whether you're, lassoing an animal and hog
The
tying
horse
it.
and
And
stuff,
there's
yeah.
all sorts of things that could be seen as not so
Yeah.
pleasant for the animals.
Yeah.
which has caused massive popular backlash. Another interesting Tamil holiday is a May festival for the god Aravan, who is worshipped by transgender people called Terunar in Tamil. At this annual
Interesting.
festival at Kovakam, You'll see ceremonial marriages between festival goers and the god Aravan, along with beauty pageants and dances hosted with the...
Like, are they saying transgender people in that area worship that god?
Sounds like
Okay,
it.
I thought he might have meant just like in general. Like,
No, I think it's
like,
very deeply tied to that particular region. You know what? I'm loving learning more about these Hindu gods. There just seems to be like there's so much here to investigate.
Support of the Tamil Nadu government. In 2008, Tamil Nadu became the first state in India to allow people to legally identify as a third gender.
Oh.
Tanjavur paintings and solar bronzes are some of the Tamils' greatest contributions.
I'm missing everything because I'm tired. Sorry. It was the third country. Okay, well, what was it? Sorry.
The Tamil Nadu government. In 2008, Tamil Nadu became the first state in India to allow people to legally identify as a third gender. Arts.
How very progressive.
Tanjavur paintings and solar bronzes are some of the Tamils' greatest contributions to world art. But one of the more humble yet distinct features of Tamil art is the kolam, which decorates the front of almost every Tamil home. These are geometrical and floral designs made of rice flour.
Oh, wow.
The kolam is crafted by women and then erased the next morning to make room
Why it all
for a new one.
erased?
Today in Tamil Nadu, huts to 5-star hotels will all have a kolam.
Wow.
One of the most treasured pieces of Tamil literature is the Tirukkural by Tiruvulluvar, which has its origins in the Sangam period but was finalized a few centuries after. This is a masterpiece in ethics and living well. The Tirukkural is made up of 3 books of wise sayings on virtue, wealth and love, all delivered in quick 2-line poems. For example, the greatest virtue of all is non-killing. Truthfulness cometh only next. It also just stops midway and talks about how to build good forts.
Oh, that looks so cool.
I'm always down for some fort talk. Charity and kindness are also key aspects, and it emphasizes non-violence and vegetarianism. Avoidance of killing and eating the meat of even one animal is more meritorious than 1,000 sacrifices. The Tirukkural is vital to Tamil culture. It pops up in songs, films and books. Every bus in Tamil Nadu is legally obligated to have a verse from the Tirukkural on it.
Really?
One of the Tamils' most famous dances is Paratanateum. This dance tells a story through complicated
banned by
movements
British
or
rule, it
hand
said
gestures,
after.
facial expressions and body
It's
posture.
horrible.
It also
was
just
banned?
looks incredible.
Oh.
Food. Rice is a staple of the mostly vegetarian Tamil diet. Bananas and plantains, jackfruit, coconut, lentils, tamarind and mango are also commonly used ingredients, along with a huge amount of spices. Traditionally, a Tamil meal is eaten off of a banana leaf. Some favourite Tamil foods include the light and fluffy
I don't even know
idli,
what a
the
banana
fried
leaf
and
looks
spicy
like.
badai,
we
the
just
crispy
saw it,
dosa,
yeah.
and the delicious
Missed it.
fried banana bonda. And no Tamil dish is complete without a side of sambar, chutney, or in Sri Lanka, coconut sambal. Tamils also love their coffee, which they brew in this unique South Indian device.
Oh.
Cinema. Tamil people are passionate about
Oh, we saw that trailer.
We saw that.
in the Kodavakam neighborhood in Sena. The Tamil film industry, or Kollywood, is the second largest film industry in India.
Oh, it's the second, right?
Ratnam's gangster epic Nayakam was included in Time magazine's 100 best movies of all time. I actually watched a movie with one of Tamil cinema's superstars,
That's the guy.
Rajinikanth, where this happens, and it was an absolutely amazing film. Tamil cinema has even bled into Tamil
Oh my
politics.
God.
3 chief ministers of the Tamil Nadu state have risen out of Tamil cinema. Tamil
Really?
cinema acts as a way for Tamils to preserve their independent and original culture by producing films in the Tamil language based on Tamil ideas and culture. I wish there was something like that for YouTubers, so they could create independent and high quality educational content for people that just love learning.
I have
Is
a
this an
feeling.
ad?
Yeah, I have a
We, a bunch
feeling.
of our
Smooth
creative friends, got
segue.
together and made our own platform called Nebula, and we're excited to be partnering with CuriosityStream. Nebula is a place where you can watch some of the best educational content ad-free, uncensored and earlier than YouTube. This video was up on Nebula days ago, and there creators can also experiment with all kinds of new and exclusive content up on Nebula. And by supporting Nebula, you'll be providing a budget for
I've never heard of
creators
Nebula
without
before, so I'm gonna have to go
originals
check
would
that
never
out.
Make it on YouTube.
Is it
Take,
like
for
a
example, Tom
YouTube
Scott's
though?
new game show Money, where he
of, it
turns
seems like.
some of your favorite creators against each other for fun and profit. Or Real Engineering's Nebula
Ooh,
original, The
D-Day.
Logistics of D-Day.
That my
It's an
grandfather was
incredible
part of.
World
Yeah.
War II docuseries that dives deep into a topic that YouTube's algorithm
granddad.
would bury. There are
Oh, that
many
YouTube's
more
algorithm
Nebula
would
originals,
bury.
all funded by and created for people like you, people that
Whoa.
enjoy original, independent, and smart content. And now Nebula
it's
even
like
has
more-
original podcasts. But what does
It's not going to
CuriosityStream
get like
have to do with it?
demonetized and all
Well,
this stuff.
CuriosityStream is the best place to find world-class documentaries online. So we've teamed up and created a deal. If you follow the link in the description and sign up for CuriosityStream's annual subscription, you'll get access not only to CuriosityStream's entire catalogue of thousands of documentaries, but you'll also get access to Nebula for free. And that's not a trial or anything like that. As long as you're signed up to CuriosityStream, you'll get Nebula.
Very nice.
Now, for a limited time, CuriosityStream is offering Cogito viewers a 41% discount on their
How
annual
could you afford not to?
That's less than $15 a year for CuriosityStream. And
Wow, that's
Nebula.
nothing.
I just finished watching their new documentary, Treasures of the Earth, which is about indigenous peoples around the world. So if you like this video, you'll love that documentary. Unlike us,
I love
they actually
watching
have a budget
documentaries.
to
It's
like
fly around the world and
my
film
favorite
these people,
genre of movie.
rather than drawn cute, chunky versions of them like we do. So click the link below to get 41% off the annual Curiosity.
Oh, he changed it now though. In the subtitles, it says 26%.
Oh, okay.
He said 40%.
I don't know.
Maybe it changed.
I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you thought in the comments below.
Okay.
What people would
Wow.
you like us to cover next? You can find all the sources.
That was
in the
a
description.
good long
If you're
video
interested in
that
supporting
really
the channel,
covered a
you can
whole
find our
lot.
Patreon and merch store also linked down below. Our patrons get early access to all of our videos and a peek
We can
behind
see all the
scenes,
patrons
along
being
with knowing
shouted
that
out
these
there.
videos wouldn't
All the
be
good
possible
people
without
that
them.
helps this sort of
So
stuff get
thank you
made.
so much for watching and poi tu varen.
Wow. Well, thank you, Cogito. Yeah, I guess that was the other one we watched, the Hinduism one. This guy is pumping out the good
we've
content.
seen multiple Cogitos.
Yeah, this is great. I'm so glad that we finally checked this out. I'm starting to pull the pieces together a bit more, because I know just the other day, for example, we were watching that girl that sang that song from Sri Lanka, the one that went viral, and I love that song. I can't remember the name of it now.
It was so
but
good.
it's so good, and I kept like humming it in my head afterwards, and so I was like learning about Sri Lanka, and now we're learning about the Tamil people and how that sort of fits in. It's every step we take, we get closer and closer to understanding India at a deeper level. And so I want to keep on this journey, and I hope that maybe you guys want to keep going on this journey with us. And if you do, then we're going to ask you to click that subscribe button. Click the little bell icon. Choose all from the drop-down menu so you can get updated
Every time we upload a new video. If you enjoyed this video, please let us know by clicking the thumbs up button and leave your thoughts in the comments down below. We're not doing the whole thing
Yeah, you
anymore.
can email us. You can join the subreddit.
Links are in our description. And if you want to help support our channel by donating, there you can. There's a super thanks button. You have to be. Stop making fun
No,
of me.
I'm not making fun of you.
You usually do this.
I know.
part.
Well, you kept going, and
I don't know. I just kept going. Okay.
you can send us money so that we have even more time to do fun stuff like this with you guys. So check out that super thanks button she mentioned. You do
Or-
need to be logged in.
There's also links in the description. Thank you guys.
We love you a whole lot. This is Internet Rabbit Hole Daily. IRH signing up.
Bye.
Bye-bye, guys.